Hey, what's up guys? E back with another action figure review, and today we're going to look at the Hasbro Marvel Legends What If HYDRA Stomper Deluxe figure. This guy's really big. This package is really big, a lot bigger than I was anticipating. It's one of those where you know it's big, but not really, not until you actually open that shipping box and you get the figure out and you're like, whoa, this is kind of big. That's how I experienced this, unboxing of this shipment that I got in the mail. And then just to get an idea, the actual box is about 10.5 inches tall, so pretty big. So there is of course the front of the package. Here is the side of the package. That gives us the HYDRA Stomper from the show. And then here's the back of the box. It shows that same image, but there is a read-up that reads, "In the universe you know, Steve Rogers was the first Avenger, Captain America. In this universe, Steve is injured and fights in the HYDRA Stomper, an Iron Man armor created by Howard Stark." There you have it. So let's go ahead and crack this thing open. Don't forget guys to check the link down in the description below where you guys can order yourself a HYDRA Stomper. Now let's get right into this. This figure definitely has weight to him. Very thick boy, very heavy boy here. Easily could have been a Build-A-Figure to a series. There he is falling back to a Series 2 or Series 3 of a What If Marvel Legends line. But they went with a deluxe release. My educational guess would be they just wanted to get the figure out since that was the very first episode that premiered. So no way we would have to wait for a Series 2 maybe next year to get this guy. We could just get him right now, which I agree with. So definitely am down for that. This is a very nice figure, I'll tell you that. This might be one of my favorite ones from within the What If figures. He looks great. So let's see. He does stand about, 9.5 inches tall. So pretty big. He comes with some very familiar repulsor blast effects. They're just enlarged. So these are the same ones that you get with the standard Iron Man figure. Just enlarged, and then we get this little yellow effect on this white translucent plastic. Same thing for this one. We get two of those, for one for each hand. Then we get a pair of fists right here. And then on the figure itself, we have a open right hand and an open left hand. And that was my mistake. It's probably not for the hands. I'm thinking of an Iron Man. He doesn't have repulsor blast on his hands. These are just the booster effects, which we don't see right now, but for his jetpack on the back, this is where that would plug into. So that's the next piece of accessory right here, which is another big piece. Comes packed in separately. But there is a peg hole on the bottom, and that's where you would peg that in. So that's his little booster jetpack, so he could fly. So very cool. This thing is very detailed, very nice, very heavy. Sculpt is very good. You can see here all the tubing. We got paint on that little tube. We got paint here, making it look like those, heat and flames from the boost coming out, and now it's like burnt on the bottom, which is a very nice effect there. And then we got a little bit of a darker green and a light green here, two tones there. And then here's the little back piece that actually pegs into his back. And then these just attach to this. So I wonder how much more top heavy this is going to make him, but let's check it out. And then there you have it. That completes the look 100%. This figure looks very dope now. Look at that. I love detail overall on everything. I mean, they really detailed this figure. It looks great with the jetpack on. Now you have the little handlebar here so Captain Carter can ride on top of his back and grab on the little handlebar there like, she does on the show. So that's very nice. Now, does that make him back heavy? Yes, it does. It makes him, very back heavy. So you're going to probably have to lean him forward a little bit, play with his torso and his leg joints to get him to balance, which you can. My problem right now is getting him in frame, but it's going to take some playing around with. This guy's heavy, the pieces are thick, they're not hollow, so keep that in mind. Alright, so here's a look at him standing up on his own. So, it's going to get annoying sometimes, but you can get him to balance and to stand up. Just be careful. I wouldn't recommend putting him on the top of your shelf just in case. I have a little few gripes here and there. He does have ratchet legs. And either at one point it's too far forward and one point it's too far back, so it's hard to get a balance point. But then you really got to utilize the ankle hinges to get him. So I have him leaning forward via the ankle hinges, but then he's kind of leaning back with his leg joint. So it'll balance out that way. So that's how I have him. He doesn't look like he's doing the Michael Jackson lean forward, and he's not, you know, he doesn't look like he's leaning back like Fat Joe either. So he looks like he's doing pretty okay standing straight up right now. I really like how this looks. Just vanilla pose too. I mean, this guy has a presence. He's really gonna pop in your collection. He's definitely gonna be an eye candy display and a talk about piece for sure. It looks great, man. The only thing I would really say is maybe if it had some shading, you know, some black wash. It looks very, very clean. Just dirty it up a little bit, make it a little bit darker. It would have completed the look, but overall, it looks really, really good. And also, Iron Man's my guy, so this is technically the Iron Man Mark 1 of this universe, and it looks dope. And then just to get you to see it from the side, how I managed to balance him out, and you can see he's not leaning forward too much. He's got a slight lean. You're gonna have to do it, guys, because of this jetpack. But also another thing I do want to point out is that the feet are not entirely like flat-footed for whatever reason. They're kind of round, and that bugs me because he kind of rocks. You know, he needs flat feet here so he can balance and stand. But you can see how he kind of rocks. It's not like flat. It's like rounded a little bit on his feet. I don't understand why they did that. That also makes it very difficult to stand, and it's gonna annoy you. I'm telling you, it annoyed me for sure. All right, so time to get our close-up look at the figure. We can really see the details in the sculpt and the paint job on the figure overall. So we'll start off with the head. Of course, I love the head sculpt. The helmet sculpt looks great. You can see here they did a good job. There is a separate piece on the inside of his mask. You can see the blue from the inside, which I assume is the light. He does have like a little display screen, I guess. It's very advanced for this time. You know, the 1940s, around the time where World War II was going on. But this is Howard Stark we're talking about, and he also utilized the power of the Tesseract to create this armor. That's why he was able to create it, and he was not able to do this armor or make this armor in our universe, in our timeline that we know of, because he never got around to tampering with that Tesseract. At least not enough time, right? So you can see here we get some nice detail. We get the printed star in the C-15 right here, which look very, very clean. I like the little, like, I don't know what that is, like a knob or button. That's a different color. You can also see the rivets on the sides here. They did paint these little vents on the shoulder pads, which are on this soft plastic, so they do move around. You can just see rivets all around. We got a little gun on the right hand here, a little turret gun. And then here is the torso. It's got a lot of these handlebars, which is really cool. This is what Steve probably uses to climb up on top of the armor. Got some handlebars up here too. And then here is the side. Down to the legs. You can see it's just like a flight of stairs from the left leg all the way up to the torso just to climb inside this suit here, and down to the feet. And then here's the back side. Lots of rivets. And then here's that little jetpack attachment that you gotta attach separately, or come separately for you to attach. These tubes should be aligned. Let's get it aligned here. There you go. Very dope. I really like the jetpack. And then we got a little soft pliable antenna on the top here. And that's about it. He does not open up, of course. We don't get Steve inside. But overall, man, this is a nice figure. And if you wanted to see what he looked like with fists instead of those open hands, there you go. And one more quick look at those repulsor blast effects on his jets. Attached there, I try to get him to look up a little bit. The thing with trying to get him to look up, you're going to have to lean his torso back and his head up, and that just adds more weight to the back of him, so he's going to want to fall forward, so that means you're going to have to lean him forward like crazy when you want to do something like this. Alright, so his head sits on a barbell peg here, so he looks up that much, he looks down, goes left and right. You know, he does get hindered a little bit, and then you can get him to look to the side there and angle it. He's got some head tilting. We have the arms going all the way up, and they go back down. They go in and out. And also those squeaky noises, that's not the figure. That is my diorama. So that's just because of the weight of the figure. But anyways, his arms extend all the way out and he can hold the pose. It's not loose or anything. And of course we got those pliable shoulder pads so they do not hinder anything at all, which is nice. Now that means if you leave it like this for like a long time, those shoulder pads are going to get like warped to that position. You can see they're already starting, but now they're going back down. But let's say that was like that for like a month or two. Yeah, these would be like this right now. And then just some hot water, cold water will probably fix that, but still, just keep that in mind. We got the shoulders here. It's not a butterfly joint or nothing, but we do get the bicep swivel. We do get the single jointed elbows. There really isn't a swivel at the elbow. It bends about that much right here. Swivel at the wrist with a hinge. We get the diaphragm joint hidden behind this loose belt piece here. So I guess technically it's just the waist, but it's a ball jointed waist. So it does everything that a diaphragm joint would do. Goes forward and back and side to side. You can see it's kind of ratcheted. It goes side to side like this, and that's it. And we get the waist swivel, of course. We also do get the legs kicking forward. You can hear the click there on the ratchet. Only goes forward about that high. Even if you twist it, you get a little bit more range, but nothing crazy. Goes back that much. You can hear the clicks. We get a thigh swivel. We get single jointed knees that bend pretty well. They go back down. Then we get the ankles going forward and back. And they have a ankle rocker. And there is a ankle swivel too. Now the leg joints, knee joints, since that's the hot topic right now thanks to the HasLab Sentinel, they are pretty tight. The legs do feel flimsy sometimes. That looks scary. That looks kind of like but it's the weight. It's the weight of the figure, and it doesn't, like, you know, of course it doesn't fall down. That's just in that spot. You can still click it and it'll still be fine, you know. That's just, it's gonna happen with a plastic figure, you know. It's not like it's die cast or metal. So just to keep in mind, it does look kind of, what the heck is going on there, but he'll be fine. Next here, I want to get him next to a regular Iron Man figure, just so you get an idea of what he looks like next to an Iron Man, and you can see how much taller and bigger this suit is next to the Mark III Infinity Saga Iron Man figure. Alright, next we have the Hulkbuster Iron Man Build-A-Figure. This is, of course, Hulkbuster from the movies, and he is a big guy, a big build figure that we got here. He still is very big, taller than the HYDRA Stomper. Obviously, that it's bigger, he fights the Hulk in that, but you could just see the size and massiveness of the HYDRA Stomper right next to this Hulkbuster. And next to another What If figure, we have the Zombie Hunter Spidey. I am constantly having to like rebalance this figure. He is so like weird to pose, even straight up. Anyways, here is Maestro, or however you want to pronounce his name. Also can dub as a Hulk since he has the Hulk body mold, and he is a Hulk. You can just see he does stand shorter than the HYDRA Stomper. And then our last comparison, of course, here is Captain Carter next to the HYDRA Stomper. And you can see the scaling is just perfection. It looks really, really good. So props to Hasbro for getting this right. Not scaling him too small or too big. I think it's just right. And of course, these have to be displayed together, obviously. Alright guys, that's going to wrap things up for this review of the Hasbro Marvel Legends HYDRA Stomper Deluxe figure from, of course, the Disney Plus show What If. This thing retails for like $55-60 bucks. Well worth the money. This is like a Build-A-Figure. Think of it like that. It's very big and it's very heavy and it's a lot of plastic, and you can see why it costs $60 bucks, $50 bucks. I can imagine just shipping this thing is it's not cheap. So it's a very nice figure. I can't stress that enough. You gotta check it out in person, and I think you're really gonna like it. Again, hopefully we get an extension of the What If Marvel Legends figures. Hopefully we get a Wave 2, Wave 3, and beyond. There's a lot of possibilities with this show. They're probably making a Season 2, and we don't even know what's going to happen yet. We haven't seen the rest of the show yet. And there's a lot of characters they haven't made, and maybe they can somehow throw in a Steve Rogers to go along with this figure eventually. That'd be nice. This is definitely one of my favorite releases of the entire What If wave of figures, if you count, the actual wave with the Watcher Build-A-Figure. And it's definitely a must-have if you're collecting the What If figures. Alright guys, let me know your thoughts down below in the comment section. Leave a like if you liked the video, and subscribe if you're not subscribed already. As always guys, take it easy, take care, and have a great day. Bye.
That's crispy.